You've discovered the Marry Your Best Friend podcast. I'm John Stewart. Welcome to episode number 19 of season 1. This is our final episode of season 1. I'm sitting next to my beautiful bride, Suzanne. We've actually done 20 episodes, but remember we had to re-record one?
Oh, yeah.
But this is officially episode 19, where one of us loves a datecation.
I think we both love a datecation.
We do both love a datecation. So, real quickly for our listeners, we all hear of staycations, where you like go on a vacation when you can't like go anywhere for spring break, and you just go to a hotel or do like the local things.
We did that when John Andrew was little. Remember, we went to stay at your sister's house and went to the zoo and went to.
That's right. We were living
aquarium.
in Grapevine, Texas at the time. We enjoyed
we went
Dallas.
to Dallas, yeah.
We enjoyed Fort Worth, and it was really awesome. Well, a datecation is where you basically do a date like you're traveling in another city, right? That's what I would.
Yeah, it's fun to not be home. It's fun to not have the dogs bark at you and say, "Hey, take me outside." It's fun to let your children be in charge.
It is. So
you know.
We're going to talk about datecations and dating and going on our vacations. And if you don't know this, we're going to tell you that we like going to hotels. And we do
it all the time.
We do it all the time. So we're going to talk about some of that in a minute. But a datecation to us is, and there are certain points of freedom. I saw a young couple in Chicago yesterday, and they had a baby, and they said it's almost sleeping through the night. It was like 3 months old or 4 months old, whatever it was. And I said, wow, that's a big step of freedom when you actually get to sleep through the night. That's a huge thing.
You know what? Our kids were sleepers, though, so we were pretty lucky.
We were 6 weeks, right? The kids were sleeping through the night pretty much. 6 to 8 weeks.
Pretty close, yeah.
But anyway, the whole point is that's a big moment of parental freedom. Like when you get to sleep through the night, you feel like you have won the lottery.
Absolutely.
And then you don't get to experience freedom again until your kids are old enough to stay at the house
to fend for themselves. Yeah. We always say we love to do it on a Friday night because we just throw a pizza at them and then
they don't even know we're going.
Hit the trail.
Well,
we've told that story before.
Now they're adult kids, but
they didn't know we were gone.
Yeah, they didn't know we were gone. But the whole point is we love a datecation, and a datecation for us is getting a hotel room, going and staying someplace, trying restaurants that we drive by all the time, but acting like we're tourists and enjoying being there. Mm-hmm. So before we go through our Indiana Gate, so what I have tonight. Our producers.
You're so prepared, and I am not because I'm on drugs.
Oh my gosh, we haven't even talked about this. So if you are watching the YouTube video right now, you see that Suzanne is wearing a lovely hospital-issued gray sling, but she did bling it out with a big S down here. You can't really see that.
But you can't see.
But here, let me.
And then Julianne has told me, I don't know if you can see it's way down here. Julianne has told me that everywhere we go, she's going to get me a little button. So we're going to...
You're going to bling that thing out?
I'm going to bling the sling out. Bling the sling.
So if you're listening to our podcast, Suzanne, my beautiful bride of 34 years, sometimes complains that the back deck is slick.
Dear God, well.
So
I'll just say that I've already been to the hospital for this one time.
It's cold and it's been rainy here. The groundhog showed up and said that spring is coming early this year, which means instead of snow, we have rain. And our
constant
back deck,
rain.
We have a wood deck on the back,
months.
And the wood deck gets slippery when it's wet.
It's not just slippery; it's like mossy or some kind of gross.
Anyway, so Suzanne stepped on the deck, slipped, and went forward. And you stuck your arm out. Your right arm.
Yeah, like I was sliding into home. Just
like she was sliding into home, and she knew she was hurt. And turns out she has broken her humerus up right in the shoulder joint. She has a broken shoulder. So the humerus bone where the ball is that goes into the socket has 2 different fractures on it. And Suzanne goes to the doctor, and the doctor comes in. This doctor was very encouraging because it said, well, this is a very common injury for elderly women.
And this is in my birthday, like the week before my birthday, or 2 weeks, I guess, before my birthday.
Yeah. Well, it's a week before your birthday week because it was a week ago today.
Week before my birthday week.
Yeah. So you had an accident, a very common injury to elderly women. But what he said was when women fall, they stick their arm out and it goes back up in their socket, and that the humerus can just break.
He
right
also
there.
said that it was a good thing that I was not elderly and that I was young and did this. He said, because an older person that does this, that has this injury, that usually they just obliterate their rotator cuff. And as it looks right now, my rotator cuff does not look like it's damaged, so no surgery.
Hopefully you can avoid surgery.
But I am adorned in this beautiful thing that is like my personal heater, which if y'all know me, you know that's just adding salt to the wound because I'm just freaking hot all the time.
All the time.
And it just is all up against me. But he says if I keep it immobilized, we're on week. Well,
it was
we're
1 week
into
yesterday.
week 2.
Yeah, it was 1 week yesterday when the accident happened.
No, 1 week on. What is today? Thursday?
Excuse me. 1 week ago
Tuesday.
yesterday, you had
1
the
week
accident.
ago Tuesday.
Okay,
it was a Tuesday.
So, my wife is injured. Usually, there's a few glasses of wine. If you listen to our podcast, the ones that are really good, Suzanne has had a glass or two of wine.
Oh, I've had a
And so
pain pill, so maybe
we're going to see what the
either
Percocet.
I'm going to fall asleep or I'm going to be real funny.
We're going to see what the Percocet induced podcast is like. So, Suzanne, I'm really glad you're better. First off, we have to say to our friends that have been here and have shown such an expression of love. Your one friend took you to the hospital after you fell.
Bless her heart.
You have other friends that brought you dinner, and
she came and helped me get off the ground. Yeah, when I fell, I had to get like a towel to help me get up. Julianne was the only one here, so we thought that would give me traction. I laid in the rain for about 10 minutes before we could figure out how to get me into.
And the good thing was
house.
I was in town, but on my way ticket town, when I called, I was in another county, and so when I called 911 because I was trying to get you to the hospital. I was in another county, and so they went to Marion County instead of Hamilton County. I called our volunteer fire department across the street. They were so great. They went door to door because I called and said, "Hey, my wife."
So all of my neighbors knew somebody fell, and they knew it was me.
But what's really great though is all your girlfriends have showed up. One of your girlfriends made crocheted a chicken.
Yeah.
You've had dinners. You've had really good food.
Yeah, I've been carted around.
I've got another friend that's I was stuck out of town and missed my connection. I had to spend the night out of town. And so another friend, took our son to work a couple of days. And so it's really cool. I mean,
people have really stepped up, and it makes you feel great that
you're loved.
Yeah,
and you have friends.
When people show up for
we have
you.
some neighbors just 2 doors down from us that sent us the coolest gift box that it was soup and biscuits and things of that nature. It was a get well soon package and all kinds of fun stuff, flowers. And anyway, so
it's been good. Oh, but can I just pump myself up a little bit and talk about how much of a badass that I am, because when I fell,
badassery.
I am the queen of badassery. When I fell, I was in so much pain. It was horrible. Denise came and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. Like I was dying. And she said, well, if you can go now before we go to the hospital, it's just going to be better. I'll go in there with you and all that. So somehow, this isn't bathroom humor. This is just me maneuvering with no sling, right? I'm crying. It hurts so bad. I can't even express how bad it hurt. And somehow in the course of doing my business, I didn't realize that my shoulder was not only broken, but my shoulder had also popped out of the socket. Mm-hmm. And somehow I myself popped my shoulder back into the socket. And I heard it go click, and I felt it, and I screamed so loud. And bless my sweet little Denise, she came in because I was in so much pain. She had to pull my pants up for me. Now that's true friendship.
That is true friendship.
When they're pulling up your panties and putting you in the car and taking you to the ER,
So let's get into the whole datecation conversation. So I have a thing here, relationship expert Dr. Laura. Ever hear of Dr. Laura?
Oh my gosh, that makes me think of when we lived in Nashville.
Why?
Because didn't we listen to Dr. Laura way back in the day?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, she was that was the big deal back then. Dr. Laura.
Relationship expert Dr. Laura went viral. Time out. So Dr. Laura came out around the same time Dave Ramsey started, wasn't it? Around the same time?
It was all the 90s.
But I just remember Dave Ramsey did the whole financial piece thing. We've talked about that on the podcast before. And he went broke beforehand, right?
Dr. Laura was national, though.
No. What I'm saying is Dave Ramsey started with nothing. He lost everything and then went credit card free and debt free, and built his life. And now he's a very wealthy man. I wonder if Dr. Laura, who talks about love all the time, was she like totally loveless at one point in her life, and that's what made her so good? Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, Dr. Laura, relationship expert Dr. Laura, went viral with something
I'm
called.
surprised she's old enough to go viral.
Well,
I mean, like she's young enough.
yeah,
That was wrong.
it says
She's so old.
she came up with the 222 date rule. Have you heard this before?
I have not.
It says her guidance says committed couples. Oh, we're committed. I'm committed to you. What are you laughing at? Are you committed to me, or are you just kind of pondering that right now?
I'm just thinking about the word committed because that's just fun.
Because somebody needs to be committed?
Yeah, because I just feel like
Her
our
guidance says
life
that
is
committed
total-
couples, that takes everybody, yeah. Committed couples
Total
should go on a date every. Okay, so this is the 222 rule. Her guidance says that committed couples should go on a date once every 2 weeks, spend a weekend away every 2 months, and take a week-long vacation every 2 years together.
That's awesome, but that's a lot of math. I think you just need to do it when you can do it.
No.
Yeah, but you
Go
know
on a
what?
date every 2 weeks. Go on a weekend getaway every 2 months, and then go on a vacation. Just the two of you. No kids or anything. Just
I
the two
guess
of
if
you.
you're one of those people that walk around with your planners in your pocket, then maybe you need to write that down. But I like it when you come home on Friday and you go, "Hey, you want to go to the hotel?"
I
And
usually
go,
give you a day's
"Yeah."
notice.
That is bull.
Oh. All right. Well, here's another Institute for Family
I
Studies
think it's fun to
research.
do it on the fly like that.
Institute for Family Studies research says research indicates that husbands and wives who don't make time for a regular date night are missing out on more than just a night out away from the kids. That's because regularly dating your spouse is linked to a happier and more stable marriage.
I'm all for it.
And it says, in fact, husbands and wives who reported frequent date nights were 14 to 15 percentage points more likely to report being very happy in their marriages.
When you go on a date night, though, you just don't want it to be like, oh, we have to get in the date night, because then it just makes it like it's something else.
Do you
need to
remember
do.
that one year we actually went out on Valentine's Day, on the actual Valentine's Day?
But we made fun of everybody that was
Yes.
out on
So
Valentine's Day, which was super.
We typically don't
super
go out on
hilarious.
Valentine's Day because it's so expensive. There's so much effort.
But we have birthdays before, after, in between.
Yeah.
February is a big month for
But
us.
February 14th is, and usually I'm actually gone because it's like Daytona 500 week, or there's something always going on, or I'm traveling.
Valentine's Day is not a make it or break it.
And
for
then
me.
the roses that I can buy for you on the 15th of Valentine's
You know, I
Day
like a
are
coupon.
$50. You do like a coupon. You are the cheap one. So, and the roses are like $150 on the day of Valentine's Day.
It's all right. They're still good.
But
the day
one
after.
year we went to a fancy restaurant in Indy, and we were sitting at a table, and we looked across the restaurant at all
I
the
feel
other
like you
couples.
have to go out on Valentine's. Like it's not because you
Is there a
want
pressure?
to. Yeah, it's like you have to go.
So but I remember they're sitting there looking at all the other couples, and we
We
were
were rating
judging.
them.
We were like, okay, date, that first date, second
Yeah.
date, like only been dating a little bit. Those people have been married so long, they don't even talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we do when we're watching these other
These
couples.
folks look totally uncomfortable.
Actually, you know what I remember we looked at one couple because some couples only like to go on date nights with their other couple friends. So they'll only go out together if like
We like to go with our couple friends.
we like couple friends, but then we also like to just be together. Mm-hmm. But I remember looking going,
That's why I think it's a state of mind and not like a thing that you cross off your list.
yeah. All right. So last thing I'm going to share here from our producer gave us some great research here. Focus on the family. We like Focus on the Family. That's
Yeah, we
Christian stuff. So it says they have two different things. A wife plans a date with her husband.
I'm sweating right now.
Are you? Is it because of the spandex or because of the stage lights that we have newly installed in the studio?
Stage lights. Oh, I'm on stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are on stage.
Yeah. No,
So
it's this stupid.
just the thing around your waist. Okay.
Yeah, and all the.
So here's what it would be like if a wife plans a date with her husband. Getting cozy with coffee. Go to a coffee house or or a cozy cafe. Choose a place where you're not likely to run into anyone you know. Interruptions aren't allowed! Exclamation point. Remember, this is Focus
Then
on
we
Family.
would not go anywhere. we
Because your
would
phone always
never
rings.
leave the house. My phone always rings. You know everybody. We would walk into the
Mm-hmm.
restaurant and you would know either
I don't know
a waiter
people at a cozy cafe. It
you
says
would know somebody somewhere.
you can go out for dinner. A couple of big cups of specialty coffee or dessert. Splurge a little. Don't think about calories or how much that big cup of cappuccino is costing. First off, if you have kids, a cappuccino is the cheapest thing you can actually do. We can't go out with any of our kids without spending $100.
I don't know. I think those specialty coffees are expensive because Julianne
Really?
always orders. Remember yesterday when she ordered the coffee from
Oh
wherever
yeah, and
we
I
stopped
wondered why
for
our bill was
breakfast?
like $30.
Yeah, it was like her coffee was
Okay.
more than her sandwich.
All right. Sorry, Focus on the Family. Don't think about calories or how much that big cup of cappuccino is costing. Just do it. So sit so you can look at each other as you talk and hold hands. Oh, I'm not holding your hand. Oh, your broken arm. Here, I'll hold it the other one.
You're the
This
touchy one anyway.
kind of setting is made for conversation. So that was a wife plans a date with a husband.
That would be some wife plans a date.
A husband plans a date with his wife.
Okay, let's hear it. I probably like that one better.
You think so?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it.
First off, what do you think a guy's thinking about when he asks his wife out on a date?
Oh, he's thinking he might get lucky.
That's all he's thinking.
Yeah, if he pays for something nice,
Let me
he's
tell you
getting
something.
lucky.
If a guy is going to a shoe store with a woman, what's he thinking about?
Oh, that he's getting lucky.
If a guy is sitting in the guest chair of like the dress shop when you're putting on your clothes,
Oh, he's getting doubly lucky there because he's pissed off.
What
Yeah,
about a guy who goes and sits and waits for his wife to get the nails done? What's he thinking about?
he's getting lucky.
That's all he's thinking about. So here we go. A husband plans a date with his wife. A long drive together. Take a long walk or drive. If you walk, go somewhere you won't run into people you know. If you drive, preferably head out to a rural road where you won't deal with traffic.
That's our street.
Yeah,
We
this
can
is the
walk
time of
outside.
communicating together. We do like a road trip, though.
We do. Remember that time we talked about this too? When
It's on my list.
Where we went. Okay.
It says, open some snacks and drinks and get talking. If you come across something fun or interesting, like
so
a roadside
cheesy.
stand, it's focus on the family.
Okay.
Okay, these are uber Christians who homeschool their kids. Roadside stand or an antique shop. And your wife says,
Oh, you
ooh.
love an antique shop.
I do. Ooh. So I have to listen like I'm driving on a road trip with you. And anytime you go, ooh, then stop and check it out. I think men,
It's usually you that goes.
I do like the
Look at
antique mall.
that, and you whip that van around.
I know, but I think the
always in your
biggest problem on
van
a
or
road
your
trip is the husband's always trying to avoid the bathroom stop because it's like right when you're like getting in your groove, listen to something, it's, oh, I got to go to the bathroom.
That's why you like to go in your van because you just say, "Well, then
Ooh,
go to the
then
back."
stop and check it out.
you-
If your car allows, have your wife sit right next to you. If not, find a way to hold hands as much as you can. If you're walking, hold hands and walk as close to one another as possible.
Hold
I
on,
loved-
wait.
I loved
If your car allows, let
talking
your
about
wife
like a
sit
bench
right-
seat. Yeah.
They don't.
Hey, our old 66 pickup truck, you can slide right next to.
Yeah, but you would get a ticket if you were in a regular car. You got to wear a seatbelt, man.
Mm.
Or it's gonna ding at you the whole time. Ding, 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 ding.
My
ding.
parents, I'm reading this. My parents always held
This is
hands when
written
they
in
walked.
1956.
My parents always helped focus on the family.
Okay.
1956. So my parents always held hands when they walked. Remember? We'd always walk behind them. They'd be like
That
eating an
was
ice cream
cute.
cone and they would hold hands. Now that my mom is living with us,
We hold hands
I hold my mom's hand and I now realize why dad did it.
because she has to have stabilization.
she's going to fall.
Yeah.
So it says the physical connection will draw you closer and make it easier to talk. So sit down with your spouse today and tell your mate you want to take him or her on a date.
Again, I like that phone call. Hey, you want to go to a hotel?
Set aside a date and time. Okay.
I know I'm
putting
getting
the
a
focus on the
meal.
family.
I know I'm getting a meal. I might get to go a little shopping if we're lucky the next
All right,
day.
so Indiana getaways.
Breakfast in bed. I'm all out.
Okay,
I'm down for it.
The best thing about having, like the first time we really started doing this, we stayed at a hotel that is so close to our house, you can almost see our house from the hotel. Mm-hmm. When they built that Cambria Suites, which is now a Wyndham, we were like,
yeah.
guest number one. And
Yeah.
then when they went to Embassy Suites, we've been there. So I have like just Indiana getaways.
Well, the good thing about you though is you've got like a gazillion points.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
not
easier
at
for
the-
us to
not
do
at
that.
the
than,
Cambria
like,
Suites where you're paying for that. But
the
I will give you
average Joe,
a
I
tip.
guess.
Okay, so if you're sitting there going, oh, it's nice that John and Suzanne can go stay at hotels. Let me tell you how I do it. One, Cambria Suites when it opened. Every single time a hotel opens, they go around to the businesses close by and they offer those businesses discounts. So there was a company that was in the warehouse right across from the Cambria Suites. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's called Helmer, Helmer.
Yeah, I know. I know
Scientific
you
company.
have some kind of hookup there.
I don't know any
how you-
hookup. I just knew that they had a deal. So when I called the Cambria Suites, I said, hey, do you have a corporate deal for Helmer? And they said, oh, yeah, well, we've got the corporate rate here. It was like $98. The normal room was $130. I said, great, I need the Helmer rate, please. So those first times we would stay there, I would get the Helmer discount rate. The other thing you can do,
You're so sneaky.
the other thing you can do, since I was 33 or so, I've been booking myself a senior rate inside of all the hotels because
How do you
you just
use your dad's card? Or
no, you just go onto the reservation site, click senior, and they'll give you a senior
But
rate.
we are seniors now.
No.
so
But this is
we're-
when I was in my 30s. Here's the thing I learned.
You're telling people that you lied.
I'm telling people how to get a good discount because the hourly guy behind
How
the
to work
counter,
the system.
no, the person
That's-
behind the counter doesn't pay attention to this. The rate they do pay attention to that you have to show proof on is the government rate because that's a really great rate. If you work for the government, the military, the government, and have government ID, you can always get a low and expensive rate getting the government rate. then I get the senior rate because they don't ever check the senior rate. They sometimes check the AAA rate, so be careful with that one. But the local company rate, never check that either. So if like I know there's a Coca-Cola bottling plant across the street from a hotel I want to stay, I'll say, hey, I work for Coca-Cola. What's the rate?
But you say I work for Coca-Cola. That is
Or
a lie.
I may just ask them, hey, do you know how many Coca-Colas I've had in my life? And I have done work for Coca-Cola before.
Yes, you have done work.
So
for
anyway,
Coca-Cola.
just a way to get a discount. So using we do stay at a lot of Marriotts because I do have points. But like in Indy, we stayed at the Marriott North. We've stayed.
That's
Sorry,
your fault, not mine.
I hit the microphone. I have and
for once.
okay, our producer yells at Suzanne all the
Every time that I hit the microphone.
Yeah, every time
So
she hits
it's
the
time
microphone.
for the producer to get yelled at.
Every time.
Boom.
Hey, you're sleeping with the producer, so be careful.
No, I'm sleeping in the recliner.
Oh, that's true. Okay, once again,
We're separated right now.
we are separated right now because Suzanne can't sleep in the bed, and she's sleeping in the recliner.
Which is so cozy.
And I am getting the best night's sleep I've ever
I think
had.
we're both getting better night sleeps, to tell you honestly.
I hate to tell you that, but I'm really enjoying the bed.
I'm sleeping on my back. And
I'm like your mom. I'm taking to the bed.
nobody is telling me to roll over. I can snore as loud as I want. There's nobody in there but Cowboy, and he is just as loud.
So we've stayed at the Marriott North on the other side. We've stayed at the JW Marriott, the downtown Marriott. We've got all the Marriotts in town covered.
Carmichael.
Noblesville, we've stayed at the Embassy Suites right here. We love the Embassy Suites. What's great about the Embassy Suites, it's so close to our house. It's like 5 miles from our house.
They have a killer breakfast buffet.
They do. And we go through there, and then we have...
Sometimes our kids have come over and joined us for the breakfast buffet,
Sorry to interrupt your date.
but this buffet is delightful.
But I think we've stayed at the Renaissance over in Carmel. I think our favorite hotel of late has been the Carmichael over in Carmel.
I love
Especially, and when they
But we just do that at Christmas because it's special.
well, we usually do it one other time too. But the Carmichael, two things about the Carmichael: go during the Chris Kendall Market because you can stay at the Carmichael, you can walk right out and enjoy the Chris Kendall Market. And then the other time is like whenever they have a show at the Palladium or they've got a jazz club there. We ate at that nice French restaurant downstairs, which is really great. Another one when they open up the Market District area over by our church, like we stayed in a hotel room one time and just looked at our church right at the window.
Yeah, it was pretty much right next door.
Well, we've stayed at the Hyatt Place there, and we've stayed at the Courtyard there. And it's a little weird when you look out the window at your church, and when we're eating at the restaurants that are like right there next to us. We had a great. We went to that Italian restaurant we hadn't been to. Went to that Peace Water, whatever it was, listening to live music.
Yeah, that
and we
was
felt
a
like we were
neat
totally out of town, but we were literally next door to our church. Another thing we've done.
Enjoy your town where you live. I mean, there's just I think sometimes people that they only do things when people come to town. Like we have a cute little downtown where we live, and I love to take people when they come to visit. Come to the square and we'll do shopping. We'll have lunch. We'll, do fun things like that. But don't just wait until people come to town. Go to your own little town and have lunch. I do it by myself. I mean, I know people aren't comfortable doing that all the time, but I don't care. I just go in and there's a little Portuguese cafe that we have downtown, and you can sit outside and it's on like kind of the busy part of the square. And so you do sort of feel like you're not in town. I know. And the food is delightful. They have lovely coffee.
So now you're saying you're going on a datecation by yourself.
Yeah. Well, sometimes.
Solocation.
A solocation.
So, but the
there's
daycation.
Nothing wrong with that.
Another thing, if you have an RV, Suzanne has her camper. I have my camper. Neither one of us really like to sleep in the other person's camper either. But you have spent 2 nights in my camper, and both times have been at a Harvest Host.
Oh, the white one, the white camper.
Yeah. My RV, my Sprinter van.
Yeah.
So we joined Harvest Host.
Just 2? I think it's been more than.
I think it's probably been 3. You've never taken a shower there or gotten cleaned up in my shower.
Your shower. You make such a big deal about it. You have to say, you always go, take a military shower.
Well,
take a military shower. I didn't even know what a military shower was until you started yelling it at me.
It means
so
you don't
I
just
just
have the
decided
water
I
going on all
didn't.
the time.
I didn't need. I'll just do it with baby wipes.
Okay, so the whole point is,
just
all 3 times you've stayed at my camper, we've used a Harvest Host. Harvest Host is a great little subscription that lets you stay at wineries. I do the golf package too.
Super fun.
Yeah, it is. And so here in Indiana, we went to Cedar Creek Winery, which they have a distillery, wine,
that one
and
that
beer.
had the
It's like the kind of a
didn't
rustic.
have a restaurant, but it had like live music.
Yeah, they had live music.
Yeah, that was real
stuff.
cute.
But they had a distillery, so we had distillery like a vodka, we had beer, we had wine, the whole thing. The one that we really liked, and I hate to tell people about this because it's so great, But Erdl Cellars over by
The wine is not that
Batesville.
great.
No, but they've got a great restaurant.
The
And the
restaurant's
camping
pretty good.
spot is in the middle of the vineyard.
Yeah, the camping spot is worth it all.
Yeah, so you pull your camper into their one spot in the middle of the vineyard, and the food is good. You didn't like their wine? A little sweet.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, but Erdl Cellars, it's down by Batesville Casket and Batesville, Indiana, where Batesville caskets are made. So like if something were to happen,
don't.
untimely.
We already had this conversation, and I
go
gave
ahead
it to
and
you
shop.
once. We're not doing it again.
Okay, so we're not talking about that. Okay, so other things that we like to do are quick trips on vacations. I mean, we're blessed because Indiana is like right in the middle of everything. So like we've been in Nashville, Crossroads of America. We go to Nashville in like 4.5 hours. We go to West Virginia in 4.5 hours or 5 hours. Chicago is 3 hours. Michigan. Yeah, we did a great road trip one time where we didn't even think about where we were going. We just said, let's
We
go.
talked about this last time, I think, or time before
We just hit
last.
the road.
Yeah.
And the first stop was the Motorhome Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it was super fun.
And then we just
We
kept
even
driving.
took the dog that day.
Yeah, we just kept driving north, and we went all the way to Michigan and went to Lake Michigan and had a nice pizza and beer and all that kind of stuff. And it was that's a nice thing. Another thing we like to do. You love concerts.
Yes,
So-
I am a live music
So
junkie.
we've been to St. Louis to see U2. We've been to Cleveland to see U2. But they're great places to go. Instead of just going to a concert here.
I know.
it's
I
fun to
had
go to
somebody ask
Cincinnati
me,
or go to-
somebody, aka my mother, ask me why I traveled. Why do people go out of town to see? Why do they, if they don't come to where you are? And I was like,
Yeah,
Mom,
but she's in Dallas where everybody goes.
everybody does come to Dallas. Yeah. And that's true. We do get a lot of people, but we're so close to Chicago. We're so close to Nashville, and then a lot of people do go to St. Louis. But it's just, sometimes it's more fun. I mean, I've been to, where did we go to see John Mayer? We drove to see John Mayer. We've driven to see
we went
U2.
4 miles to see John Mayer. John Mayer was here at Deer Creek,
No,
literally south of our house.
Denise
You
and
could
I
hear him from our
drove
house.
to someplace.
Another thing we
drove
like to do-
8 hours.
Yeah. Another thing we really like to do, because it's something that we like to do as a family, is the racing. I mean, like you love to
I'll
go to
drive
IndyCar race.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I'll
drove.
drive to
You
a race.
drove to Road America this past year. That
Yep.
was like 6 hours away, and that's
Got a
always
ticket.
that's always fun. Oh, you did.
I did get a ticket.
You know,
I was flying.
one of the worst little trips we had with our family was when we took 3 dogs, 3 horses, 3 kids, and the
horse trailer.
And the horse trailer.
That was pretty bad.
My horse trailer has bunk beds, has a nice full bath, has a kitchen, and Suzanne has decided that
And it has air conditioning that intermittently goes out.
not in the camper. The camper has
The
great air
camper's all
conditioning.
right, but in that semi that you have to drive in and sit in while you're driving,
Well, my new truck will pull it if we need.
you
to.
just it just goes up and down and shakes and moves, and it's hot. And
You don't like riding in a Freightliner. No, but
not
one
my
thing.
fave.
Yeah, so the very first time we took that trailer out with Suzanne, I had it for a year and a half before you ever went. And then when you finally did go, I took the boys on a ride. We were gone about 8 hours. And I never will forget riding back up to the trailer.
A ride, for those of you that aren't knowing.
We're on our
is-
horses.
They were on their horses. Julianne and I were at the trailer by ourselves all day. And she was sick, by the
Okay.
way.
Well,
She
all
was
I know
sick.
is that from a couple hundred yards away, as I'm riding up after having this wonderful ride with my sons,
About 1,000 degrees
I
outside.
look and I see my hot, sweating wife,
With the dogs, all 3 dogs.
and she didn't look happy. And I decided to put my horse away.
I could have killed you.
Kind of walk over to the camper. And the very first thing you said was, "Your truck is too big. I can't take it. I can't drive it to town. It's too big. I can't drive it. I've been stuck here all day." And I said, "Okay, let that one go." Next one.
Next one.
We lost all the power. There's nothing working. All the power went off, and we were standing next to the little post where you plug in, and I just flipped the switch because you were like, "Well, you could have told me
No,
about
it wasn't on the post because I would have known that.
right there, I flipped
It
the
was
switch.
in the camper to switch it on.
Whatever,
And I
it was
don't know
one
any
switch.
of those buttons.
that." And then you just lit into me at that point. You're like, "I don't understand." He goes, you know what I did while you were out having fun with riding your horse is I cleaned your trailer.
It was nasty.
I cleaned your bathroom. That was nasty. I cleaned your shower. That was nasty. I cleaned your kitchen, and I can't find anything. It's obvious you have not had a woman in this trailer. Well, I was getting in trouble for not having a woman in my trailer.
Okay, you are so anal about where everything goes.
Well, it's a horse trailer. Everything goes in a certain spot.
You don't have one Kleenex out of place, and there's not one gum wrapper that's not in the trash. But Lord have mercy, I don't know when you swept that floor because it was nasty.
Well, I owned it for a year and a half. I bought that horse trailer so we would enjoy going down the road
Well, we
together.
did not enjoy it.
I had it for a year and a half before you ever stepped foot in it.
No, I went in and sat down and enjoyed it at the fair. It was awesome to have at the fair. I'd go in, sit down, have air conditioning.
Okay.
That was lovely.
Well, we went to Big South Fork with the horses.
Yeah,
and
we did it once.
On the way back, Suzanne said, I'm done.
Yeah.
You can keep this trailer, but this is not going to be how we retire.
Yeah, that was not for me.
Not for you? We can pull that trailer with my new truck, though.
I would be happier to do that, but that's a
Should we
conversation
try it
for us
again?
alone.
I think this is a podcast conversation. Will you commit to going with me again on the horseback riding?
Not with all 3 children and all 3 and
Just
dogs.
you and me.
I've been with just you in the trailer, and it was fine.
It was? You
Yeah.
did. Oh, hold on. I'm now remembering
Thank you.
You did go with me one time.
And it was your birthday
Time out.
weekend.
You said, okay, let me tell the whole story on this one because this was John. Oh my
Act of
gosh,
love.
You're going to a Buck Brannaman clinic with your friends Ricky and Ryan on your birthday. I feel really guilty. I should go with you to this little town.
You're making this sound.
No. To this little town called Pawhuska. I'll go with you. It's your birthday.
You told me what it was. I didn't know what it was until you told me.
All I know is we're driving to Pawhuska.
Oh, you were digging a hole for yourself right now.
Excuse me. Within 10 minutes of being in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, you were gone. You had a weekend with Ray Drummond and the Pioneer Woman. It had nothing to do with John's birthday.
Drummond, and yes, I did. I
had
met
nothing.
her, and I went to her store on many occasions, and I
It
got
had nothing to
cookbooks,
do with
and I
John's
bought
birthday.
Outfits, and other wives and I did these things. But
What other wives? The other wives were in the truck they were in the ring riding with us.
no. Do you think I still couldn't drive the dumb Freightliner? I had to hitch a ride with somebody else.
All I know is,
We did have the puppy, though. We did have one dog.
all I know is there was one moment in the clinic. It was a 3-day clinic.
And it broke down. How about that? How about we had to wait on roadside assistance?
We were there.
Did I complain?
We were there
No, I
for 3
did
or
not.
4 days, and you stepped foot in the arena one time and kind of waved at me.
Because you didn't want me in there.
No.
You said I was
there.
distracting and that I was talking too loud.
Well, you do talk
You're not
too
supposed
loud.
to
and
talk.
you do
You're not
wear-
supposed to wave.
And you do wear heels in a place where everybody was wearing boots, and
I
you
was
make noise
not. I
on
was
the
wearing boots
bleachers,
like everybody else.
and you just needed money.
Well, I can't argue with that one. Probably did need money.
That's all you needed was money.
I'm always needing money.
All right. Before I go to my,
If you'd fill my bank account before I ask you for money, then I wouldn't have to ask you
Okay.
all the time.
I have a whole list here that's gonna be great.
All right. You better get on with it because
Okay.
I'm getting tired.
100. Oh, you're getting tired. Okay, so we've made it 33 minutes before the drugs kick in. Okay. What is so great to a man about staying in a hotel with his wife? Leanne Morgan does a whole bit about when her husband goes on the road with her.
We have to lean into the unquestionable things that you ask us to do.
Yeah.
That's what she
because she did. Because
the embarrassing things that this man has asked me to do.
yes, there's just something different about a hotel. Why is that?
I guess because it's just not home and there's no distractions and
And I would
you don't have
advise-
to clean it up.
I would advise anybody with an active physical
Love life.
love life to not buy a 125-year-old house like we have, because you can hear everything in this house.
That's good. I can hear what my kids are doing upstairs.
They can hear what you're doing downstairs.
Yeah, well, you're sleeping upstairs now and I'm in the recliner, so they must be having a
No,
pretty
so
quiet night.
I have a few things here. So the first thing about a hotel getaway, I always do a room sweep. So
We've talked about this.
I do the
Remember on
room
my
sweep.
rules?
I go through and I sweep it all.
Or I mean, your rules that I talked about.
The other thing is, hotel sex is usually better than any other sex. You always love the breakfast afterwards. Like the morning, you love breakfast. And sometimes, like if
Breakfast afterwards. That sounds...
No, breakfast when you wake up on Saturday morning. Because we do our datecations usually on Friday night, because on Sunday we have to go to church and everything else. So we
Yeah.
usually do a Friday night datecation. Even if I have like a Sunday morning men's group or something of that nature, you like
That's
it.
the other thing, because
I
you
leave on
leave
Sunday.
me in the morning a lot on Saturday, and I
And
just
you love
sleep
it.
in, and you'll get late checkout, and I'll just watch Netflix all by myself.
Yeah, if you're a Marriott person, I mean, they
love
let
it.
us check out as late as 4 p.m. So the great thing is that I'll go to
I
my
just
men's
hang out
group.
there by
I'll go do
myself.
my Manchester United football games, whatever it may be. And then you're just enjoying the TV and you're enjoying the hotel robe and the whole thing, and
Super
love the
nice.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Whether it's we love the breakfast.
I love to have the breakfast brought up.
The last thing I'm going to
my
put on here on the
favorite.
hotel getaway that we never forget, your purse vodka.
Brad called me today, and I was taking a nap. And he left me a message, and it said, I'm standing here with his friend from work who thinks that my purse vodka is hysterical. And he goes, I'm calling you on speakerphone because she wants you to tell stories.
Oh, that's funny. Well, if you don't know what purse vodka is, Suzanne, you wonder why she carries a big bag. It usually has some of those purse vodkas, which I always call airline vodkas, but it's you get the small bottles of vodka, and you'd love to do that for movie theaters.
Well,
you'd love to do that for concerts. You'd
for
love to do that
weddings,
at hotels, because if you go downstairs,
whatever, it's like I'm a cheapskate.
yeah,
you know?
If you go downstairs to get a drink at the hotel, it's like $13.
$20.
Yeah.
And you go upstairs, you get a Fresca out of the machine, and it's fine. I
Okay,
got a
so
red
here we go.
Solo cup.
Here we go. The first half of the podcast was on our datecations. Now, I have printed 100 great date ideas. Okay, a lot of great date ideas in here. I'm going to ask you. I don't have to go through all of them, but give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you're open for some of these. Got it?
Open for us to do these.
For us to do them, you can.
They're like new ideas
You
for
can give
us.
Suzanne's. Oh, I'd love to do that, or that's stupid. Move on.
This is like your new favorite thing.
Asking you questions and getting your reaction.
Getting my.
It kind of is. And
opinion.
I've got different categories here. Okay, so there's first category is fun and creative. The other one is food flirtation. Then there's fond memories, great outdoors.
You had me at food. You lost me at flirtation. but
Great
go ahead.
outdoors. Do you like the great outdoors? Okay. Movie moments.
Oh, I love a good movie.
In town. We've been talking about in town. There's a
in
whole
town,
category
that's
in
a whole
town.
deal.
Cash investment.
Cash? I'm sorry. Did you say cash?
Cash investment. Fall fun. And we're not talking about
Well, that
boob
sounds
cash, by the way.
Stupid.
Okay.
Fall
I'm
fun.
driving my mom today.
Did she put money in her?
No, but
in
she
her
said
bra?
she needed to go get money. And I'm
Did
like,
she pull it out of her bra?
no, but she said she had to go get money. And I'm like, first off, I don't want to give her money because I know where it's going.
No. Because I have her thing. That's
Okay.
what I
well,
do.
She wanted me to go
with
get her
her.
some money, but
I'll
I
do that.
said, Mom, what are you spending money on? Like, what do you?
She
her hair.
gets her hair done. Yeah.
Okay, fall fun and then winter cheer. I have all those.
That's so.
Although we don't need to go through winter cheer because the groundhog says we're going to have spring early. Okay, fun and creative, food flirtation, fond memories, great outdoors. Which one of those do you want to
If you haven't noticed, I'm not for the cheesy theme kind of thing.
But these are really great ideas. Food flirtation, is that the one you said? It says go on a
What was the first one?
fun and creative.
Fun and creative. So is that like a wine and canvas or something like that?
Okay, I'll give you some of these. Go on a double date. If you're a younger couple who wants to learn from an older couple you admire, or you've been married for a while and want to help newlyweds,
We have
go
a
on a
lot of
double
friends
date.
that are younger than us that just go with us.
Do we?
The Coxes are 10 years younger than us, and they're always
but
hanging
he's
out.
more mature than both of us put together.
Yeah, that's true.
She's not. It says whether you're going out for dinner or playing mini golf, it can be a great opportunity to share some insights. What older couple?
Everybody's younger than us.
What older couple would be a good mentor couple that you would like to go out to dinner with sometime? Is there somebody?
We're always the oldest ones, so I'm trying to think who's older than us that.
Like a mentor couple. Is there somebody you would like to go out with? Anybody?
Let me think. I love going out with Brad and Diane.
Oh, I do too. I was
I
going to
love
say.
going
I was
out
going to
with
say your
them.
cousin Bobby and Dana.
Oh, I love going
They're
out with
older.
them too,
They're
but
fun.
they're family, so.
Yeah, they're a family. Okay.
Or Dan and Becky. I love going
Another
out
one.
with Dan.
Classy classifieds. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, sorry. I will see if you like this. Give each other $5 to spend, or just pretend to spend. Look through the online classifieds such as Marketplace.
That's
on
too much
Facebook,
work. Move on.
Craigslist, and see who can find the best deal. So basically, if I gave you $20 and I had $20, we would hit Marketplace and see who can find the best deal.
I don't know. That kind of sounds fun because it would be fun if we could buy.
Something for each other.
Yeah, that would
Now,
be silly. Have you seen those?
We are so
Wait.
anti-cheese. Sometimes we go to the card store for Valentine's Day, and we each pick out a card for each
Sometimes
other.
every year.
But we pick out a Valentine for each other, and we just hand it to each other. We read it there in the store and put it
We
back on the shelf.
laugh and then kiss and then put it back.
Yeah. So we save $10.
Yeah, it's dumb. Okay, but no, here, have you seen these girls are doing this for different parties, which I think this is hysterical. They're saying, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to Goodwill and you're going to pick out an outfit for your girls' night out from the Goodwill.
Oh, that's fun.
And you pick it out for somebody else. they don't know what they're getting.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. And so you put it in a bag and then like everybody exchanges their.
So you and I could go on a Goodwill date.
You have to wear what they have picked out. And your friends are going to pick out the worst things they can find. And you have to wear it out.
That is fun. That wouldn't really work as a couple thing if I went and picked something out for you
but I
at
mean,
Goodwill.
if we looked at something on Marketplace, like, and I bought you a gift and you bought me a gift or something like that, and it was.
Here's one. Start your own book
fun.
club for 2.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Although I do have enough books.
Yeah.
Annual service adventure to help couples strengthen their spiritual connection. Greg Smalley suggests volunteering somewhere as a couple. Actively pursuing an annual service adventure unifies you.
I think we do that on the regular. Next.
Do a photo scavenger hunt.
I did that.
Okay.
We did that when we were young.
Take time apart. Many couples are spending a lot more time together, especially for spouses who are both working from home. Why not rethink your date night by giving each other alone time? Why do you think I have your
bag packed on a Sunday night? Ready
you could do a favorite activity. So here we are talking about
Datecation.
The best idea is do a Datecation by yourself from each other.
Bam.
Okay, board game fun with shorter days.
I love a good board game. That's why
have a game that lasts longer. Set it up and play. Okay.
Oh, but we don't like to play with you because you guys are not fun. You're not fun to play a game with. You get mad if you lose, and then you get very
I do like those
obnoxious when you win.
I do like those families. We know the Edwards here in town, and they love going to Gen Con and playing all the games and playing games.
Yeah, our kids love to do that.
Okay, here's one. Plan a dream vacation. Grab a cup of coffee and go to your local bookstore's travel section. That's not a bad idea.
You've done that, actually.
Take the time to learn about where your spouse would like to go and where they would want to go and vice versa.
We've done that.
Dreaming together is a fun thing. Yeah. Okay, next one.
That's real fun.
Take turns choosing your date ideas. Okay. Go on a thankfulness date. Ooh, this sounds good. We live in a culture that is all about seeking more, wanting more, finding more. Mm-hmm. It can be difficult to slow down and think of everything you're grateful for. So why not set aside time to do just that? Go on a date with your spouse, be it out for dinner, coffee, or even just a walk, and talk about everything you're thankful for.
That could be good.
It could be good. Take a personality test. How about a personality test? You like that?
I think that's pretty fun.
Oh, do you? Okay, you grew up reading like 17 magazine quiz. And,
Cosmopolitan.
Oh, it's Cosmo, yeah.
Or
Cosmo.
whatever, was on the...
Yeah, this can be a fun, simple quiz you found online
funny.
or more in-depth tests such as Myers-Briggs.
There's even an I Love Lucy about that. I think that is humorous because that would lead to very fun conversation and probably some great stand-up notes.
Okay, so we'll try that on the
I think that
date.
one's fun.
Set aside time to read the article 9 Paths of Spiritual Intimacy. Talk about your spiritual temperaments, like Enneagram, stuff like that. Tackle a DIY project. This is something that...
Oh, you would just yell at me.
Yeah. And then we have some couple friends like... Every time I see...
screams, I'm mad at you.
Tackle a DIY project. You know who I think of is Jack Hyndman. That poor guy.
Oh, man, she works him to death.
Okay, our friend Amy, she must watch HGTV and all these home improvement shows.
Their house is very, very pretty.
It's beautiful, but she never lets that poor man.
She also lives a coupon, so she does not pay for it to be done. Jack needs to do it.
Yes, poor guy. Redid their basement, redid everything. Every time I see the guy, I'm like, oh.
What's your list this week?
The time you're with me, you're not installing a barn door. Try something new. Pictionary or charades? You love charades.
I love charades. Remember we used to go to Ann and Tom's and we would always make fajitas when we were first married. We'd go make fajitas and then we would play charades. And what you got to know about Tom is that he grew up in a missionary family and they didn't have a TV, so he never knew any pop culture.
Yeah, don't ever play pop culture with some missionary kid from Central America.
No, any of them. And we would just feel so sorry for him.
Greg and Jan? The Waltons? No. It's like...
We would always just skip those. But I love charades. We had so much fun with them.
Here's one. Young. Date drama. Relationship drama can be fun when you're acting an episode from your favorite TV show. Do an internet search and for a script from your series of choice. Select
really scraping
characters
the bottom of the barrel on this one.
And recreate a scene.
And scene.
Add costumes and props. So if we were to do that, what TV show would we be redoing? Pick a show.
Cops. No, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Yeah, because that's kind of what you're known for, as cops. Okay. Here's one. Adopt an accent. French is the language of love. But you and your spouse can determine your own accent.
It sounds like my syllabus for intro to theater.
Wow.
Okay, go on.
Maybe you won't win this season's TV talent show, but you and your spouse can be superstars in your own living room. Choose a favorite song and look up the lyrics online. Duet is what it's called. Duet, do it. So we won't listen to songs.
Where did you find this stuff?
Our producer really dug deep for this one.
Wowzers. Okay. You know what I do like to do, though, in our living room?
Yes.
I love to watch Jeopardy. We've talked about how I like to watch Jeopardy. I like to do that as a family.
This
I think
actually is
that's
around our
fun.
vacation. The next one says terrible tourist. Walk around your town visiting some not so typical tourist attractions. Unabashedly snap photos of random objects. The duller, the better.
That sounds fun.
That bench outside the grocery store and the stain on the park trash cans are masterpieces. Sure, you're a terrible tourist, but you and your spouse will have a blast spotting zany photo ops.
We sometimes just take hilarious pictures, like obscure pictures and funny places, and that
Here's
makes
a fun
me
one.
laugh.
Forget your age. Okay, this is like you and I going to MCL. It says date like you're from a generation older or younger than you actually are.
Nice.
So it says eat ice cream cones and rollerblade in the park for a date fit for teenagers.
Oh, well, we know how that would end for me. Yeah.
If you prefer senior style fun, eat applesauce, play bingo, and watch a black and white movie. God.
That's a regular day for me right now. I'm having to eat applesauce to keep the meds.
But we do go to the MCL cafeteria sometimes and kind of have that.
Gosh, I am an old woman at heart, I guess.
Here's one that we used to do when we were first married without kids, a real estate date. Whether you're on the house hunt or comfortably settled in your home, pursuing real estate listings with your spouse is free, fun, and a great way to spark conversation.
Gosh,
we loved open houses.
We used to do it every Sunday afternoon.
The problem is now we probably know most of the realtors in this area because like back then we'd go in and go, I'd probably knock down this wall here. And
I love an open house. Like I would still do that. I think that's so fun.
Browse a variety of price ranges and property sizes. So yeah,
That's super fun.
It is fun. It's fun when they go, you do know this house is $22 million.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
And your point is?
And your point is, we'll pay cash. Playground date. Remember how fun it was to go on a slide as a kid?
Hell no. They were hot and metal and burned my butt.
It says fill 2 travel mugs with your favorite warm beverage. Find a nearby park with a playground. First off, we're going to get arrested if we go to a playground.
Just talk to Matt. Matt arrests people. Why are you at this
Matt
park?
is a police officer here in our local town. Playground date.
He's arrested so many people at the playground because it's creepy.
Oh, here's one. An at-home spa. Give your love some tender care by planning a relaxing massage date. We tried the massage date 20 years ago.
You say we tried.
No. We said, let's give each other a massage.
I want anything that has the word spa in it. I'll take it anywhere, anytime.
Okay, you go first. And I gave you a massage, had the oil, the candles. The whole thing.
I don't remember oil and candles. I
remember 30 minutes of my hands rubbing and kneading, and I knew the chop thing and the rubbing thing, and I did everything. And then it was my time, and you were so relaxed
that I fell asleep.
No,
I just went.
You did this. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done.
We never did that again, ever. Hey, here's one. Comic couples. When was the last time you and your spouse shared a good laugh? Plan a comedy-themed date with the goal to laugh all evening. Before your date, ask your loved one to collect silly jokes and think of funny childhood memories to share at dinner. First off, yours is going to be like fart humor. For love, just the word. There it is. For more laughs during your meal, play the straight face game. See who can hold their serious expression without laughing first.
We don't need people to tell us what games to play. I just think that we have a good time. Period. I think we set out to have fun, just like that Valentine's Day date.
Yeah.
Like we went, that's just in our nature.
Literary adventures. This is about reading books together. Okay. Next one, food flirtation.
By how you put that one down quickly.
Yeah. Go on a progressive dinner, mix up your dinner routine and be a patron of 3 of your favorite restaurants in one night.
That could be fun.
That could be fun. A bake-off challenge, have a decorating contest.
I did that with some friends. We went with Liz and Matt and Rachel. We went on a taco night, and we went to several places.
Oh, yeah.
He did a research of so we could rate the tacos, and we had tacos at each place.
Oh, that's right. We had tacos at all the places.
Yeah.
I think I only made one. No, I was there at the last one. I showed up at that Sangrita place or whatever you guys went.
Oh, you did?
I did.
don't remember that.
Enjoy a meal out on a budget. Here they're saying if there's a restaurant you really want to go to, just go have appetizers and dessert. Like if you can't afford it. Bake treats for your neighbors. This is the perfect time of year to bake up a storm. We have some friends here that like she's a cookie master and makes all those cookies, and her husband helps her like prepare everything. That wouldn't work in our kitchen. I'd be cleaning it. Could we do anything? Could we bake anything
We could not
together?
do anything in the kitchen together. Let's just, nope. Next.
It says, have a fun baking session together, then hand deliver them to your neighbors and see the delight on their faces.
That's called Christmas cookies.
I know.
That's something that you have to do at Christmas. I'm not going to do it just like on a day. Like, ooh, this would be fun. Let me cook all day.
I know, but I still, for our friends that bring us food, if you have cats.
Yeah, but, if
you have cats,
John won't eat at a pitch in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring your favorite restaurant home.
Hey, can I just tell you?
Here we go. Yes.
Today, the cable guy came,
We don't have cable. She's talking about fiber optic. But
yeah. Fiber optic. We've never had it out here. Like, we've lived here, 18 years? And we've never had anything like that, high-speed internet.
We still use like a carrier
or
pigeon.
anything. Yeah, it's so bad. They don't have it available. Anyway, so they laid it across the street. And he called immediately, Well, the guy, I guess, was supposed to come on Friday when you were going to be here.
Correct.
And he did not. He came today when I had my medication and am in the sling and have no idea what is going on. He comes to the door and he's asking me these questions. And I know how particular you are. And he said, can I bring it in to the front of the house? And I was like, he's not going to want anything in front of the house. And he said, okay, how about here? And I said, he's not going to want that. And he goes, how about this? I said, well, you know what? I better go call him about that. And then I came back out and I said, yeah, if it's wrong, if he hates that, then can he call? And I said, not to make him difficult, but, then I just went, but he's difficult. So never mind. He's just, if he wants it changed, he'll call.
So the point of you telling the cable guy that I'm
you're
difficult. Okay.
Yeah.
But thanks for sharing that on the podcast.
I just want everybody to know.
Our phone-in polls are showing that they don't agree with you. I'm not difficult, according to the research.
But he laughed. He thought it was quite funny that I said, oh, never mind. He is difficult.
Okay, next one. After you put the kids to bed, don't start on chores into your to-do items. We never did that anyway. You should get done. Instead, don some comfortable clothes, order your favorite takeout food, and enjoy a guilt-free simplicity of an evening. And that's called Try Pajamas and Takeout.
I don't think it needs a name. I think it just needs to say,
Do you know what Netflix and chill means?
Without the chill?
Do you know what the Netflix and chill means?
I do know what Netflix and chill means.
That's not on my list, but these are stupid. Sunday fun day.
I'm not the producer.
The backyard. No, the wireless date night. Go on a dinner date and turn your phones to silent.
I'm telling you,
Don't
man.
check your phones until you leave the restaurant. Enjoy.
Remember when you used to try to make us put our phones in the middle of the table?
Actually. Enjoy a distraction-free date and get to know your spouse even better.
Because after almost 40 years, there's so much I don't know about
conversation
you.
starters. I have bought, how many times do I buy those conversation starter like card packs and
Okay.
different things and stories and jokes? And
John Andrew was here last week and he came in and he had one out. He took one out of the cabinet and he was reading through. He goes, I said, now be careful and put that back where you got it because Dad will be mad if it's not in the same spot because he's difficult. And he said, Dad always has these card games. They're conversation starters. And you probably have like 5 or 6.
I do. I like them.
And you bring them out and they're actually very good.
All this stupid stuff. Fond memories. Here we go. Let's go to the fond memories category. Back to the dating days.
We talk about this a
Think back
lot.
to some of the earliest dates you went on with your spouse. Set aside an afternoon, evening, or entire day to recreate these memories. Want to go an extra mile? Snap photos and then compare the pictures.
What if you
to the
don't
ones
live
you've
there
took.
anymore?
No, but when we were in
We
LA.
don't live any of
I
those
know.
places.
Well, first off, we didn't really date until after we were engaged. But
Yeah.
when we were in LA, we took the kids to the restaurant where I called to tell you I loved you.
You set all that up, and that was really sweet.
Well, we were
they
at
were
the
kind of
restaurant.
grossed out.
They were grossed out, but I was sitting. They knew the story.
Was that
and,
on the How I Met Your Mother tour?
It was. We were coming back from the
Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother tour from Hawaii, where I showed them where I met you.
Yeah, they were so fed
That was
up.
actually a fun. We had a
They
vacation.
were fed up with us because we were really in
Our
love on that
kids,
trip.
our kids were at an age where I felt like they needed to know our story, and so we
Young
had
adults.
It was our 30th anniversary, And we had a How I Met Your Mother tour where we went and showed them where we met. We showed them where we had our first little date. And they rolled their eyes throughout the entire trip.
The entire time.
And then when we were coming back through LA, I told that they had heard the story of when I called you and told you that I thought we needed to
Be together.
Be together. And you said, okay, you've made me 20 minutes late. I'm late for my date. Talk to you later. And you left me hanging there. But that location where I revealed my love, I took the kids to. So that was kind of a back to the dating games.
It was really sweet, and I loved it.
It was. Make a time capsule next. Revisit your premarital training. If you still have premarital booklets.
Premarital training?
Yeah, like if you have premarital booklets, you can go back through your premarital training. So it's kind of like
Jesus.
Go back to the discussion guides. Back to the future. Years from now, when you look back at this point in your marriage, what memories will you have? So there's suggestions.
I think that's why we're doing this podcast right now.
I guess.
It's kind of a date night for us.
Here's a I do again. Whether you have been hitched for 2 years or 2 decades, make a date to renew your wedding vows.
We did that too.
We loved renewing our wedding vows.
We did. I would do it every year, honey.
Honey, that was our 25th anniversary.
I know, and we've been married. We could do it again.
Oh my gosh. We're about to celebrate our 35th.
Let's have a party and do it again. That'd be so fun.
Okay, next. Hello again. Hello again.
Hello again. Isn't that a play?
Remember that? No, it's a song. Neil Diamond.
No, I know that, but isn't there a play?
I don't know. Remember the early days when you and your spouse were first dating? Recreate the excitement of your first encounter with a date, pretending that you don't know each other. For example, set a time and a place for your date with your chance encounter, so you can sit at the bar and for me to pick
So
you up.
we could write down all the meet cute things. That's just another faction of that dumb play.
All right, let's go to the one that really gets
thing.
my motor running. Great outdoors.
Okay, what do
Watch
they say
a
about
moonrise. September is the last month.
Moonrise. Well, we watched a moonrise.
I love watching them when the moon
sunsets?
comes up. No, but when the moon rises, the sun sets in one horizon, but then you get to watch the moon come up in the other. When I go, hey, go outside and look at the moon. Look at the harvest moon. Look at that. And you're like, I've seen it. I'm like, no, go outside and see the moon.
But I have seen it.
It's different every time.
Okay, do you know, it's that song. I see the moon and the moon sees me and the moon sees somebody I want to see.
Take advantage of the warm evenings before we enter the crisp days of fall. Pack up a blanket, some hot chocolate, and snacks, and take your spouse to a nearby park or open hill to watch a moonrise.
Why can't we just sit on the front porch like we always do and watch the
sunset? Because the front porch watches the sunset and the moon's on the other side of the house.
But I like the sunset because of all the pretty colors.
Okay, you're ruining the great outdoors.
Okay.
Row, row, row a boat. One of the great things about summer is the evenings stay bright.
Bugs.
This is like when we go, okay, I was about to say, I have a canoe.
Bugs.
I have stand-up paddle boards.
Mosquitoes.
You went in the canoe with me once.
I have never been in that canoe, sir.
I thought you went with me once and the
That
bugs
would be
were too
your
thick.
son. Oh, no. I drove you and J. Daniel to the dock so that I could
So I literally
let
have
you
a canoe
off.
right in the backyard, and you've never gone canoeing with your husband who, taught canoeing as like a merit badge.
Yeah, well, you're old now, and I don't have good balance, and
All right, here's a fun one. Plant
lake
a garden.
water is gross. All right.
It is not. It's beautiful. It's flowing. With the first day of spring nearly upon us, take a break from the winter chill by planning what your garden will look like. We could plant a garden plot.
We probably need to do that anyway.
Yeah. We kind of give up on our garden because the weeds just...
That just sounds like work.
It does. Okay. Berry picking. How about that?
Love berry picking.
These are totally not outdoor. I was thinking it'd be hiking and climbing rocks, but none of this.
Maybe you just haven't gotten there yet.
I guess. Summertime festivals.
I love berry picking. You know, what's that place that's just not too far from here? I used to take the kids. Yeah, I used to take them when they were little.
Summertime festivals. Do you like summertime festivals? Jazz and folk festivals?
Love
and
it.
Cultural events?
Because it's live music. You know I love that stuff.
Yeah, it is. We like going to the German fest. And we like going to the
that's
Italian
super
fest
fun.
and the Greek fest.
Oktoberfest.
You just add fest and it makes it
Yeah.
fun. Okay, here's one that we've never done, and I think it's a little nerdy, and you may not like it, but the geocaching. The kids like the geocaching.
Okay, so I camp with women that love to do that, and I've just never done it. I think I would probably like it.
Geocaching uses your handheld GPS device or smartphone and turns the world into one giant treasure hunt. This adventurous date idea gives you a chance to enjoy the spring weather.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
Visit geocaching.com.
I don't think
get
that's
started.
nerdy.
You don't? Okay. Mm-mm. A lot of people love geocaching.
Yeah, like it's kind of a thing.
Okay, these outdoor things stink. Okay, movie moments. What's old is new again.
Watching it outside?
In light of nostalgia. No, this is a totally different category. Movie moments.
Oh, so they're already done with all the outside. So what would you put on that list, honey? If you were making the outdoor list, what would you put on it?
Probably
since you don't
going
like
in your
theirs?
horse camper with your husband to a trail
Okay,
ride.
we've already talked about that. Next.
Do some Dutch oven cooking while your husband's on the trail. Welcome him back as he rides up with
Basically, this just all sounds like me working while you're having a good time. I'm not a hiker.
I know that. You have great hiking boots that match a lot of different outfits.
I don't like hiking.
You have great hiking boots. I've given them to you.
I have hiking boots?
You do. You have cute ones.
I don't know where they are then.
Yes. Hey, let's take a moment and let's talk about every single time Suzanne has slept in a tent. Okay, we're done.
0.
I literally counted up how many nights in a tent I've slept in, being a Boy Scout and being a Scout leader and all that.
That's a boy thing.
Over a year of my life has been spent in a tent.
Okay, can we just say that I can't even walk up the deck without falling and breaking my shoulder? I'm not outdoorsy. Okay. All right, we've established
These are all
that.
movie moments. Watch a movie under the stars, travel vicariously through film, yada yada yada.
Ooh, I love all the movies.
Gosh, okay, so something old.
No,
something
but I mean,
new.
I probably would love all of that, and we've probably done
So here's
most of it.
It says, since we live in the age of the remake, why not combine a viewing of a recently remade movie with its original counterpart?
I've done that in the classroom.
Have you? Settle in with a bowl of
yeah.
popcorn and compare the two. Laugh at the poor graphics of the original or over-the-top graphics.
I'd probably like the older one better.
And enjoy evening in with your spouse.
I think that's fun, but that's really long too, because that's like 2 back-to-back movies.
Here's one.
But I do like that.
Watch Cheech and Chong and roll your own.
Are you serious?
No,
though?
I made up. Sorry. All right, behind the scenes movie. Choose a DVD or Blu-ray film. One that you've seen before works best. And
okay, how old is this list?
first off, our producer really needs to get in with the streaming game.
Yeah, they scoot over in the truck. No
It says
seatbelts,
the
and now
director's
DVD.
commentary is particularly fascinating. Okay, so our producer is on a budget here.
I'm just saying, are they talking about VCRs?
Okay, the next. Okay, let me check my Rolodex. I'm going to call a new producer. Okay, in town. Here we go. Here's be a city nomad, buy a day pass for the bus, and take the public transit around your city. That'd be kind of fun if we lived in like New York or Chicago.
No.
Well, if you lived in Chicago and they had the hop on, hop off bus,
fun?
that would be fun.
If you were touring around or whatever, but why would you hey, let's get on that nasty bus and step on gum and sit in urine. Let's do that. That sounds so fun.
Okay, for any of our listeners that might take advantage of public transportation, please don't judge
If
my
you
wife.
have to do it, it's one thing, but why would you do it like for fun? Just
Okay. This is one that I like. Go sailing to yard sales. Spend a few hours on Saturday morning bonding and bargaining.
Oh,
over
we
garage sales.
love that.
We do. And we also love going to an auction.
Love it.
Like I look at auctionzip.com and see what auctions are coming up because sometimes it's fun just to show up at like a
so
jewelry
fun.
option or a
Anything.
advertising.
It's just fun to look at all the things.
And the other thing you like to do is whenever they have
watch people that bid on
whenever
it.
they have the vintage markets. And
I love that too.
Vintage markets or Christmas market or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's fun. And you like that thing. You like those things too. And antiques and things like
Here's one that we've got some friends that do this. Cheer for a team or both teams. Attend a local school or community sports game. If you aren't a huge sports fans, search online for a glossary of lingo and common cheers like, good eye.
Okay, so Charlie Hart does this with
Every Friday night they go to a basketball game.
They go to a basketball game.
Different games. Not like the hometown team. They're like driving across the state to go to a basketball.
They just go to a high school basketball game just to support the school and check it out. And I think that's so neat. He and his son do it together.
You're not a big sports person, so this is going to write a few phrases down and be the most enthusiastic fans at the event. So you can go sports!
I know. I would go sports ball.
Cheer for the same team or for opposing teams.
Can we just go to a race and everybody's happy?
That is pretty happy.
Yeah.
Tour open houses. We talked about that. Quick road trip. We talked about that. Romantic errands.
We do that all the time.
And one of us really enjoys romantic errands.
We do errands all the time. I love the errand day where you drive me to all my errands. I think that's so fun.
Oh, God. All right, next one. Cash investment. Take an art class for beginners.
I love that you
Go
do
on a
it for
money
me.
date. Here's one.
A money date?
Yeah, it says recommends
is
having a
that?
money date with your spouse where you talk about your budget and address any concerns.
Oh, dear God. That also screams fight. Put that in the pile with home improvement.
Okay, how about the flirty fun park romance? Book the babysitter now. You're taking your spouse to the amusement park. What if we went to Kings Island? Just you and me. Go to the theme park. Do roller coaster rides.
Again,
we'll have to wait till your arm is...
Look at me, right? I used to do all the roller
How old
coasters.
is this list? The $5 date. For a simple and economic date, take your spouse to a farmer's market, flea market, or antique shop with only $5 each. You can't even buy like a cucumber at the flea market or the farmer's market.
I'm telling you, this producer, I'm gonna have to have a talk with him.
Well,
We're gonna have to have a come to Jesus meeting about his research because
I think your arm has stopped you
bueno.
from sleeping with him for a little while. Shall we dance? Thrift store makeover. Oh, that's kind of what you said.
Yeah.
Go to a thrift store and pick out the piece
that's
of...
pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, they're saying...
Or I think that would be fun.
They're talking about picking out a piece of furniture, a bookcase, an end table or something. And
then fixing it
spray
together.
painting it
Again,
together.
arguments. Okay, next.
Go to Off-Broadway or even further. A day at the zoo. Who
I
says
like to go to the
zoos-
zoo.
Who says the zoo is just for kids? Most
I love
people.
the zoo.
Yeah. Okay, so lots of great fun date ideas there.
Did I give you good feedback?
I think you gave me good feedback. I mean, here's the winter cheer. Try a new snow sport. You're not trying snow sports.
Again.
Take a winter walk around your neighborhood. I wish you would walk with me through the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I should because I'm fat. And I should do that. That would be
Christmas
healthy
in
for
August.
me.
It says, why wait until September to bless your spouse with a special gift? Catch him or her by surprise with an early Christmas gift.
Why does it have to be an early Christmas gift? Why can't it just be a gift?
Well, it can be. But I wonder how many couples are like us that the moment that November hits, you take everything that arrives and put it under the bed to give me
The kids
later.
need toothpaste. It is going in
Yeah,
their
it's
stocking.
under the bed. It is. So anyway, hopefully those are some great date ideas. We have talked for literally an hour about our datecations. We do love dating. Go take your spouse.
Maybe it's because we didn't date when we were supposed to
is.
be dating.
Yeah, we were engaged first and then we started dating.
We had known each other for 4 years. It's
We had.
The
I think
whole
the whole
marry your
point of this
best
is
friend
the whole
thing.
point of this is go on a date. Take your spouse on a date. Go on a datecation. Book a hotel room. Spend
do
$100
what you like to
spend
do.
$150 and just go stay at the hotel that's closest to your house just to have fun. And just get
Try
away
a
from the
new
dogs.
restaurant. Like drive 45 minutes.
Our biggest thing
And not worry
on our
about how far it
vacation
is.
as long as the dogs don't die and as long as nothing happens too bad while we're gone, we throw a pizza at the kids on a Friday night and say, see ya. And, we come back. They can't do too much damage in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Usually.
Well, we've come home to some hairy, scary situations. But all in all, I think it's just important to be with your significant other,
I do too.
but not on a schedule. This is what I'm gleaning from our conversation tonight. I don't think you have to be on a schedule. I think part of it is that I just want to be with you.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, that's sweet.
I mean, we're doing this thing and I'm being with you.
We are.
I'm obviously not at my best right now.
So go on a date with your spouse. If your spouse won't go, ask somebody else's spouse, I guess. Go on a date.
Go with friends even.
Although I will say, our friend Sarah Quinn, she says one of her best dates ever was with me.
I'm scared.
No. I showed up one time. I was going to Las Vegas. It was a brand
I
event.
remember this.
And I showed up, and this was when Ricky was drinking, so he was a lot more fun then. Ricky, I showed up at the hotel. We're at the South Point. And he came up to me. He goes, "Hey, John." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hey, how would you like to take Sarah out for dinner tonight?" I was like, "Well, that'd be great. I love Sarah."
Did he have a guy's thing?
He just wanted to go hang out with the guys and drink.
Oh,
and
he knew you'd be sweet.
And he
with
looked at me.
Sarah.
He goes, "You're like a normal guy I can trust." This is before we were really close. No, but he said, "You're like a normal guy I can trust." So Sarah and I, we had a great time. We had drinks. We
She's
went to
so
Mexico.
sweet.
She is the most awesome woman, and I see why he loves her because she's awesome. But anyway, we had a great date, and it's funny because I always tell Ricky, your wife's best date was with me, and I was a married guy with 3 kids.
Yeah, but look at him now. I like to think that we've rubbed off a little bit on some of our younger friends that haven't been married as long as we have.
And they have an incredible family.
Yeah.
So, hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. I will tell a couple things before we play before the music. This is our last podcast of the first season, Suzanne.
This
1
is
year
also
ago.
the last podcast before I am 57.
Ooh, that's right. So our next episode. So this is the last podcast of our first season. We did 20 episodes, 19 of which actually aired. One of them did not air, and we are starting season 2 next time. We're starting season 2, and I'm looking forward to season 2. We are going to do a quick review of season 1, and then on the next episode, Suzanne, are you ready for what the subject is?
Go ahead. I might forget.
One of us is getting older.
Oh, that's me.
It is. You are going to be older by the next podcast.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about aging, the highs and lows of getting older, getting injured when you're an elderly woman.
Shut up.
What do you mean, shut up?
Not elderly.
You're not, but the doctor said that your injury is an elderly injury. I love you.
I love you. I'm going to go take a nap.
Thanks for going on my podcast date.
That's all you get right now.
It is. Was it good for you? It was good for me.
It was good for me.
All right. Love you.
Love you.